Hello students, you're most welcome in calculus classes. Today I will recover the portion of partial fractions. Actually we discussed and we already completed this portion and this topic in real classroom, that means in regular classroom, but some student had some doubts and some problems. So I want to revise and I want to recover the topic partial fractions. Before knowing the partial fraction and before going through the partial fraction, we must know about basic terms and basic terms involved in this topic. As I wrote 2-3 terms, and as you can see on the screen, polynomials, rational fractions, improper fractions and proper fractions. So I hope you are knowing and you are knowing about the first topic and first portion, that is known as polynomial. And polynomial we already discussed in previous classes from 9 to 12th class. We already discussed about this topic. So I want to recall that topic. Polynomial, basically polynomial is written as in the form of Px is equals to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on an x to the power n. And I hope you are knowing about the concept. This n should belongs to whole number. Whole number, that means this power of unknown quantity should not be any fraction part. That means it should not be any rational number and it should not be any negative number. That means in each and every terms the power of unknowns, that means power of variables, should be positive integers. I am considering two polynomials. Consider two polynomials px and qx. If I am writing and px and qx, so this is known as rational fraction. This is the concept of rational fractions. So rational fraction, that means if we are writing two polynomials in the form of p upon q, as we were knowing the rational numbers p upon q, so here what is coming here, polynomial px upon polynomial qx will present rational fraction. Okay, hope so understood the rational fraction. So after knowing rational fraction categorize in two ways: improper fractions and proper fractions. So I will take improper fraction, improper rational fraction. Improper rational fraction, if we are knowing that px upon qx is a fraction, rational fraction, in which what we are knowing, in which if we are finding degree of px, that means numerator is greater than or equal to degree of if we are finding degree of px is greater than or equal to degree of qx, it says that degree of numerator is greater than or equal to the degree of denominator. That means in this case the degree of numerator will be greater than or equal to, then the fraction will be improper fraction. Okay, so I want to give some example. You can see the examples like x square plus 4x plus 3 upon x plus 2. What we are observing, degree of numerator, that means this x square plus 4x plus 3 is 2. So degree of px is greater than degree of qx. Degree of qx, that is 1. So we understood the concept of improper fraction. So this is the improper fraction, and proper fraction will be that means opposite of this one. So I will go through the proper fraction. Proper fraction, if degree of px is less than degree of qx. Okay, hope so understood the degree of px is less than degree of qx. In this way the fraction will be proper. I want to write some examples. x plus 1 upon x square plus 4x plus 3. You can say x square plus 4 upon x cube plus 4x square plus 3x plus 5. Okay, whatever the fraction in this manner, in this form, that will be the proper fraction. Hope so understood proper fraction and improper fraction. See this, students, I wrote some examples so that you can check them. I wrote check the following. So we have to check how many of here the proper fraction and how many are improper fractions. No? So as we observe in first case, we observe that means degree of numerator is 2 and degree of denominator is 3. So we are observing this is proper fraction. Here also we are observing same. The degree of numerator is 1 and the degree of denominator is 2. So what we are observing in this case, the upper polynomial, that means px, having the degree 1. In this case, the degree of qx, that means second polynomial which is written in the denominator, is degree of this polynomial is 2. So this is also proper fraction. As we are observing over here, this is also the degree of numerator is 1 and degree of denominator is 2. When we'll multiply, we'll get the square of x. So the degree of this numerator is, so denominator will be 2. So this is also proper fraction. Here also this is proper fraction. We are observing degree of denominator is 2. Here we are observing degree of numerator is 1 and degree of denominator is 3. So it is also proper fraction. This is also proper fraction. Why it is a proper fraction? Because degree of numerator is 1 and degree of denominator is also 1. Both the degree are same. So this is also proper fraction. So now students will discuss about the resolution, that means how to resolve rational fraction into partial fractions. Okay. So as per the name, it is looking with the name itself, partial fraction. That means we will split a rational fraction into parts. Okay. It is also looking with the name only, that resolve rational fraction into partial fraction. That means one rational fraction can be resolved as per the given condition of denominator. So first condition I am bringing as per the condition 1 says that, first condition says that when denominator contains linear when denominator contains linear and non-repeated factors. That means in this case, we'll see that denominator will contain all the linear factors without repetition. So I'm writing some examples also so that you can understand. Suppose this is numerator and I'm writing x plus a, x plus b and x plus c. Okay, so you could say x a upon x plus a, b upon x plus b and c upon x plus c. See my dear students, I want to tell you one thing. Without any order, you can write any order. It is not that means order based. If you want to write under a x plus b, you can write. If you want to write under b x plus a, you can write. That means the order will not affect your answer. But you have to check one thing. Each and every factor, that means it is very clearly mentioned in the topic. It is very clearly mentioned in the case sensitive. That means when denominator contains linear and non-repeated factors, so we have to write the fraction in this way. This is the rational fractions, and now we are splitting this rational fraction into partial fractions. So the partial fractions can be resolved as per the number of factors present in the denominator. Here I am observing 3 factors were there in the denominator, so I split this rational fraction into 3 partial fractions. Okay, you can take and you can see some more examples like x plus a. This x plus a could be x minus a, no problem, without that means any sign applicability. That means here negative and positive sign, both the signs can be there. So this time I am writing x minus c under a, b x plus a and c x minus b. Okay, this capital A, B, C, I'm writing the capital A, capital B and capital C. These are the constant. Later on we'll find out the values of these constant. This is the concept of partial fractions in case 1. I hope you understood case 1. Now I'm bringing case 2. In case 2, when denominator contains linear and repeated factor. This time the factor will be repeated factors. Okay, in this way we'll see, that means factor will be repeating. So I'm writing the case, suppose px plus q upon x plus a, this is linear factor, and I'm writing second factor x plus b, and it is repeating 2 times. Okay, it says it is repeating 2 times. I hope you are understanding the concept of repeating. So we can write a upon x plus a, similarly b upon x plus b, and c upon x plus b whole square. Okay, so what we observe, how many factors were there in denominator? 3 factors were there. So we splitted 3 partial fractions. So as I discussed and as I told you very early, the number of partial fractions based upon the number of factors present in denominators. Okay, I can write one more concept and one more example. Suppose I am writing x plus a whole square and x plus b whole cube. So how will you write? A upon x plus a, b upon x plus a whole square, c upon x plus b, d upon x plus b whole square, and e upon x plus b whole cube. How many factors were there? 5 factors were there. So we split it 5 partial fractions. Hope so understood, dear students. Second, see the student third case, when denominator contains quadratic and non-repeated factors. Okay, so here what we are observing here, the factor becomes quadratic. Previous it was linear. So now we will discuss about the quadratic factors, but it should be remember some concepts. So I am writing one case, px plus q upon ax square plus bx plus c, and I am writing one linear factor also to understand. So see, this is linear factor, this is quadratic factor, and I am writing a upon x plus b. So this is the linear factor, and I am observing this is quadratic factor. So quadratic factor written in this form, ax square plus bx plus c. But condition is there, this quadratic factor should not be where this ax square plus bx plus c cannot be factorized. If it is factorizing, this case will transfer to case 1. Okay, if it is not factorizable, suppose it is not factorizable, then you can apply this concept. So I hope you are observing. In case of that means quadratic factor, you have to write the way bx plus c. I can write some more examples. Suppose it is written x square plus a, x square plus b. It is also, we are observing what we are observing. This is also not factorizable, that means we cannot factorize it. So we'll write ax plus b upon x square plus a, and cx plus d upon x square plus b. Very important concept and very important thing you have to observe. The thing is that this will not produce any real number and real root of this factor, and that is this factor. That means there will not be any real value for this, that will be 0. So we are saying that this is not factorizable. I hope you are understanding what's the concept of factorization. So we understood 3 cases. Now fourth case I am bringing, when denominator contains quadratic and repeated factor. Suppose it is repeated factors, no? In denominators, if we are finding some quadratic factors in which are repeating, so how we'll write px plus q and suppose x square plus a is repeating 2 times and x square plus b is repeating 2 times. So how we'll write ax plus b x square plus a cx plus d x square plus a whole square plus ex plus f x square plus b, and last is gx plus h x square plus b whole square. My dear students, I want to tell you one more thing. If you want to keep this x with b, you can keep any one of the letter can be chosen by you to keep this x. If you want to keep this x with b, you can write. If you want to write with a, you can write. Okay, but any one, not with both. Na, you have to write with any one. I hope you understood. A b x, ax plus b, cx plus d, repeating, that means this repeating. See here we are, what we were observing here, we were observing 4 factors were there. So 1 2 3 and 4 terms are there in case of partial fractions. Okay, so I'll take some examples so that you can understand well. See this, students, I took one question so that you can understand how to resolve the rational fraction into partial fractions. Okay, so I took one rational fraction. In this rational fraction, what we are observing, first of all, I want to tell you, my dear students, it should be remembered by you. First of all, we have to check the fraction is proper or improper. Na? So I'm checking and I'm seeing this fraction is proper fraction, so we can go directly to resolve the rational fraction into partial fraction. Second checking, after checking proper and improper fraction, we have to check this is which case is applying here. Na? I'm observing in this case what we are observing? We are observing that denominator contains linear and non-repeated factors. Okay, linear and non-repeated factors. So first case will be applicable. So I'll take let x plus 2 upon x minus 3 x minus 2. Okay, so we could write, as I told you, without that means seeing order, irrespective to order, you can take any factor first and any factor second. So I took in this manner. Okay, so after that I'll tell you 2 methods are there to resolve in partial fraction. One is Vedic method, other is comparison method. So first I will tell you comparison method, then later on we'll discuss about the Vedic method. Okay, so I took this is, and I can take this is first equation, and we have to take LCM of right hand side. So I took the LCM of right hand side. You can see the LCM. I hope you are knowing how to take the LCM. I took the LCM, and we can cancel this to this, and we can find x plus 2 equals to, after, and that means getting expression ax minus 3a plus bx minus 2b. X plus 2, I can keep this both the term containing x together, and I can write 3a minus 2b. Okay, now it's time to compare the coefficients. To compare the coefficients of x and constant term. We'll compare coefficient of x as well as constant term. Coefficient of x is here a plus b, and here coefficient of x is 1 only, and constant term we are observing 3a minus 2b. Here constant term is 2. As you discussed in your previous classes, as in 9th class and 10th class, how to solve this type of equations. So you can take, I'm taking the questions. So solve equation number 3 and equation number 4 as per your convenient method. Okay, see this, students, I'm solving the equation. I wrote both the equations from previous page. A plus b equals to 1 and minus 3a minus 2b equals to 2. So you can use any method as per your choice. I'm using here elimination method. So we know if I multiply this first equation by 3, so 3a plus 3b equals to 3 minus 3a minus 2b equals to 2. So what will come after adding? We'll get this 3 cancel, b equals to 5. No? So as we found the value of b, we can find now a plus b is equals to 1. So value a of a will be equals to, see b, what will come? 1 minus 5, so a will be equals to 4, minus 4, sorry, yeah? Minus 4 will come. So now we can check these answers are correct or not. So what we discussed and what we wrote, x plus 2 upon, you can see previously as we already discussed and as we already wrote, it was x minus 3, x minus 2, x plus 2 upon x minus 3, and a upon x minus 2 and b upon x minus 3. Okay, and you can see here we already found the value of a and b, so there is no problem in writing. So what will come in the place of a? What will come? Minus 4 upon x minus 2, and place of b what will come? 5 upon x minus 3. You can cross check. See, when you multiply this x by minus 4, so what will come? Minus 4 and minus plus 12. So what will come? You can write somewhere. So you can check. See, I'm writing over here. So minus 4x and plus 12, है ना? And 5x will come. So this is 5x and 5 2 is 10. 5x minus 4x. So x will come, and 12 minus 10, 2 will come. I hope you understood, and same thing will be there. Huh? So we resolved this rational fraction to partial fractions. Now if you want to integrate this expression, you can integrate it easily. It's very easy to integrate. So integrating both the side. Okay, after integrating, what will come? Integration of x plus 2 upon x minus 3, x minus 2 dx is equals to integration of minus 4 upon x minus 2 dx and plus integration of 5 upon x minus 3. Hope so you understood this much. So next step will be, as we are finding left hand side we'll write same because it is our question only, so there is no need to change anything in this left hand side portion. So I wrote similarly, and I can write this minus 4 outside and 1 upon x minus 2 dx, and here 5 and 1 upon x minus 3 dx. We are observing degree of x is 1 here. Degree of x is 1, so integration of this portion will be log x minus 2 plus integration of this portion will be log x minus 3 plus integration constant. Now further solution, it is up to you. If you want to simplify, no problem. If you want to simplify, it is up to you. If you want to simplify ahead, you can. Otherwise, if you want to leave the solution over here, you can write. Na? I am writing this positive portion up forward and this negative portion backward to apply some rules. So I can write log x minus 3 whole power 5 modulus minus 4 will go back side, x minus 2 whole power 4. Okay, and plus c. So you can write log x minus 3 whole power 5 upon x minus 2 whole power 4 modulus and plus c. Hope so you understood. This is your answer.